Get Gutsy, episode number 166, on my journey to my first six-figure year as a coach. Welcome to Get Gutsy. I'm your host, Jenny Fennig, and I am so excited to be on this journey with you. A cutting-edge show blending business and spirituality, Get Gutsy serves up a potent blend of stories, lessons, and tips to help you make a massive impact in the world through your soul's work and your inspired life. No more going it alone, no more excuses. The world needs more brave women saying yes to leadership. Are you with me? Good. Let's get gutsy now. Welcome to our Jam with Jenny edition of Get Gutsy. This is a new element to the show that we are bringing out where every Friday we are publishing this Jam with Jenny on the podcast. On Wednesday of every week on my Facebook page, which is called Jenny Fennig, I am connecting with my tribe, with you live. So if you want to come hang with me on Facebook, come on over to my Facebook page. It's called Jenny Fennig, and every Wednesday at 12:30 Eastern Time, 9:30 a.m. Pacific, I am talking to you about a topic that I know you are curious about, and I am there to serve you, take your questions, be with you, and really hang out together and go on this journey that we are all on into the next level of your sacred work. And then what we do is we publish the episodes right here on my podcast each Friday. So if you prefer simply tuning into the podcast and listening to the audio, we got you covered. So I wanted to plug you into what this style of connecting is all about. And thank you for being on this Get Gutsy journey with me. It has been extraordinary. We are continuing to go deeper yet higher and saying yes to the leader that you truly are here to be. So without further ado, I introduce you to this fantastic episode of Get Gutsy. It is time to jam with Jenny. Enjoy. Hey everybody, Jenny Fennig here. How are you? Come on in. Let me know that you can hear me okay for our soiree. This is our weekly soiree, Jam with Jenny. Thanks for being here. I'm a few minutes delayed because today is kind of like a half day for my kids because Thanksgiving is coming up here in the US, and woo! It was a like party to get here. It was a mad dash to get here. But we're here. So if you're watching live, say hi in the comments. If you're watching by replay, say hi in the comments. Just say hi. If you're watching this video, say hi. I want to know that you're here. Listen, today we are talking about my journey to my first ever six-figure year as a coach. It was quite a journey. And as I'm looking back and as I was putting together my thoughts for this particular Facebook Live today, I realized that my first ever six-figure year as a coach was 5 years ago. 5 beautiful years ago. I was running across that finish line of six figures. And let me tell y'all, it was quite an amazing feat to arrive there, okay? And what I want to do is share with you 6 lessons, 6 tips that you can apply as you are going after larger and larger goals in your business. Sound good? So hi, Carrie Ann. Hi, Roberta. Great to see you. Let's see. Yep, I'm okay. Sometimes I feel like I get all twisted down here and I need to like untwist. I think we're good. I think we're good. So say hi in the comments. Let me know who my coaches are here. Send over your favorite emoji if you too love coaching. Do you want to have a 6-figure year as a coach? Do you want to have a 7-figure year as a coach? What do you want? What do you want in your business? Why are you here? And that's kind of a very big question. Why are you here? But I'm putting it out there because I really like conversation and dialogue.
between me and my people. And that's why I do these Facebook Lives every week. I've been doing them for, a few months now. Hi, Jill. I love seeing everybody here. Hi, Maureen. Great to see all these familiar names. And even if you're not a familiar name, I'm glad to have you here as well. So here's the deal. I started my business in 2008, okay? And in late 2007, I quit my last corporate job, and that was a six-figure job. So I knew what it was like to earn a six-figure income. I knew. And I knew that I could do it. I knew that I could do it as a coach, even though I was going to be self-employed, even though no one was giving me a paycheck, from a corporation every 2 weeks. I knew I could do it. But it took me several years of walking this coaching road. Became a coach in 2008, and it wasn't until 2012 that I crossed that six-figure revenue mark in my business. So that was several years of trial and error, figuring out what this thing was all about. During that time as well, I had two children, gave birth to two kids. My daughter Kate came around in 2014, got pregnant with her in 2013. So there was a lot that was going on. I moved from New York City to Massachusetts, where I am now, but I was so focused on getting over that six-figure income hurdle in my business. I will tell you that most coaches don't. They don't make it over that hurdle. And in fact, not even just most coaches, most small businesses don't, which is really wild to consider, because when you're talking about six figures in revenue, that's not six figures in profit. You have expenses that go into running your business. The neat thing about being a coach is that your expenses don't need to be massive to run this business. Most coaches run their businesses online. You're paying for some technology, you're paying for team, you're paying for coaching, mentoring, training, that sort of thing, travel that might be involved with delivering programs or attending events. But the thing that you need to know is if you want to have a six-figure year, you truly need to be all in, okay? And I say this because I see a lot who are kind of like, they put one toe in the water, but the rest of their body's out. Or they are looking at coaching because like, well, I think I could make some money with that. And what I want to say is, yeah, you totally can make money as a coach, but you got to be in love with this work. This can't be something that you choose just because you're like, well, I think, I'd like to work from home, and like I heard you can make some money. You have to be in love with this path. You have to be in love with helping people, and you have to be amazing at creating things, okay? Because you have to be creating offers, creating programs, creating invitations for your audience to say yes to. So I'm going to go through these 6 lessons learned as I looked back at 2012, which was my first year crossing that six-figure income mark in my business. I'm happy to say that ever since 2012, we have been a six-figure business. We're now a multiple six-figure business. And it's because once you do it once, you're like, okay, that's possible. And then you just take the lessons learned, you take what worked really well or what you enjoyed the most, and you double down on that, you triple down on that, you quadruple down on that, you see? And hi, Jessica, great to see you here. Everybody say hi in the comments so I know you're here. Send over some emojis, put over your favorite emoji in the comment. Like, I love that. I do love emojis. If my soul could speak, it would speak in emojis. How about you? Okay, so 6 tips. And hey, Robin, great to see you here. 6 tips, the lessons learned from my journey to cross that six-figure income mark way back in 2012. Number 1, laser focus. You have got to be laser focused. And this really parlays into that concept of being all in, not one toe in, the rest of your body out. Many of you have other work that you do. You have another business. You have a day job. You have kids, and maybe you've been at home with them. You have stuff going on. We all have stuff going on, okay? That doesn't mean that you can't be all in your coaching business, you see? It is absolutely required. Like, no freaking screwing around this, because the thing with coaching is that it's such an intense personal growth path. So intense. nothing will kind of crack you open more than creating a business as a coach, and certainly being an entrepreneur. I mean, it's an intense personal growth path. I also think parenting is an intense personal growth path, and marriage. Okay, just put it out there. Let's be real. So tip number one, laser focus. And what I mean by that also is to stop chasing bright, shiny objects. Stop trying to copy people who you see out there. You're like, well, I'm pretty sure they're successful, so I'm just going to take their program and just copy it. Or I'm going to take that strategy and just kind of put some new paint on it and make it mine. You have to come from a place of pure authenticity when you are growing your business. This is when you connect with spirit. This is when you connect with source. This is when you connect with your higher power. This is so much of the type of work I do. I consider myself a spiritual business coach. My coaching school, we pride ourselves on being the school for spiritual coaches who want to make a difference and a great living. When I say when you work with spirit, it's like you're listening to your intuition. You're feeling the nudges and you're trusting those. Because when you do that, you're unstoppable. Nobody can be exactly like you because you're getting that divine wisdom from source. You see, this is very, very powerful, and it's certainly a piece of my success puzzle when it came to me having my first six-figure year. So stop kind of chasing the squirrels. You're like, oh, look at that. I'm going to go over there now. Oh, I'm going to go over there now. Oh, I'm going to go over there now. Y'all have to hunker down on an approach. Let's just say I said, oh, I want to start my podcast. And say yes in the comments if you listen to my podcast. It's called Get Gutsy. We've been publishing now for 2 years. Gosh, we're just crossing our 2-year anniversary mark. I'm just recognizing that, and I'm like, woo, go us. Let's say I said, okay, I want to start this podcast. There's something about podcasts, and I was just trying to follow somebody, right? Because they're like, well, they're doing a podcast. I should do a podcast. And I kind of in my heart was like, I don't even want to do a podcast. And then I realized, well, there's fucking work involved in having a podcast. And then I saw somebody else, a couple weeks later was going to do something else. They were doing something else. I'm like, you know what? Screw the podcast. I'm going to do this other thing instead. You'll never make any traction because you have to put your feet into the ground. You have to spend some time working on a strategy, working on something that you're passionate about. For me, I decided to launch a podcast. This wasn't in 2012. This was a few years after that. Let's see, this was in 2015 for me. But the thing is that's a great example is you've got to hunker down. You got to hunker down. You got to believe in something and you got to give it time to bear fruit. Okay? So number 2, you've got to know your numbers. You've got to know your numbers. And hello, Kristen. Hello, Kimberly. Hello, Karen. Karen, I'm glad you're a Get Gutsy listener. If y'all aren't a Get Gutsy listener yet, hop on it. We got some really cool episodes coming out too. I'm starting my interviews up again. We have a lot of really cool conversations that we're going to be sharing with you in the coming weeks and months. So get pumped. All right. Lesson number 2 is to know your numbers. Do you know your numbers? Do you know your numbers in your business? Some people don't want to know their numbers because they don't like their numbers. They're like, oh shit, these numbers ain't good. What if I just ignore them and they'll go away? It doesn't work like that. I had tried to ignore my numbers in 2011, and great to see you here, Lorraine. And backstory is because I moved late 2010 from New York to Massachusetts, lived in a house, which was a big responsibility. I hadn't lived in a house since 5th grade. And it was big, and I had to adjust to that. Plus I got, I was pregnant and I had my second son in 2010 and thought I was going to have a home birth with him, had a C-section because he was breech. I mean, there was a lot that went on. And I just didn't look at my numbers in 2010. I just had too much on my plate. I was overwhelmed. And so at the end of 2010, when I looked at my numbers, I was like, oh shit, these ain't good. I was barely profitable, barely, just squeaked by. And I was very disappointed because it wasn't like I wasn't working. I just wasn't focused on the right things. And I made a commitment at the end of 2011. I said, that's it. I am going to know these numbers. I'm going to know them inside and out. And I'll have conversations about money and numbers. And I asked my dad to be my chief financial officer in the business for all of 2012. We had weekly money conversations. He, at that point, was an accountant for the IRS, the good old Internal Revenue Service. He worked there for decades. Said, well, he knows money. He knows numbers. Let's talk. And so we did. And it really brought us closer together in our relationship. And y'all know what happened at the end of 2012, my first six-figure year. Okay. So look at the connections there, and I did that as I was going through, and I was like, what do I want to share with you today? That's a huge piece. You got to know your numbers. And to this day, I know my numbers. Actually, when I finish this live stream, I'm hopping on a call with my financial strategist to talk through my numbers, talk through my P&L, look at projections for what's coming down the pike. Sometimes I don't look forward to these calls because I'm like, oh, I just want to be creating things. I want to be teaching you. I want to be coaching. And guess what? If I don't know my numbers and love my numbers, then my business can't grow. It can't breathe. It will never fulfill all it's meant to fulfill. You get it? Okay, so that is lesson number 2. And great to see you here, Heather Nunley. Number 3, meet your people IRL. IRL. Who knows what IRL means? Meet your people IRL. Type it in the comments if you know what IRL means. I'm going to type it in just to let you know and see if you are on target. In real life, I like to use abbreviations for things because it's kind of fun. Meet your people IRL, in real life. So a big piece of 2012 for me was I was leading a lot of in-person gatherings. I love vision boards. You raise your hand if you like vision boards. And I have vision boards in my office right now. I bought some materials. My kids and I are going to do some over the Thanksgiving holiday. And what I did a lot of in 2012 was leading in-person vision board workshops. Okay. I did those in my local community here in Great Barrington, Massachusetts. I went up to another town and led these workshops. And I went to New York City and led a vision board workshop. This is something we teach our students how to do and kind of walk them through how that can look and give them resources and materials to trigger inspiration and creative thought about creating these in your local community. But that was a huge piece. I was meeting my audience in real life. And what I also did at those workshops was I would make an offer for a program of mine. The workshops were pretty low price. They were anywhere from like $25 to $50, I want to say. And then I would make an invitation to be part of one of my programs. And my program at that time was called the Live Your Dream Challenge. So I'd make an invitation to keep the energy going and to join for my course, right? It was a program, the Live Your Dream Challenge, which I used to lead live. Okay. And so that was a huge piece of my six-figure year, was just doing that, putting myself out there, making the invitation, getting in front of the audience, and really building those connections, building those relationships. I also led an in-person retreat, a multiple-day retreat called the Retreat for Goddesses. That was my first ever multi-day retreat. It was called the Retreat for Goddesses. I led my first one in 2011. I led my second one in 2012, my third in 2013. And so having that in-person retreat, obviously people are buying tickets to come to that retreat. And then what I do with the retreat was I was making an invitation for my multi-month program. It was really a mastermind in terms of its structure and design. And that was a premium program. And so when I get people to come, like I remember specifically one particular client who came to my retreat in 2012, she just Googled like women's retreat, found my retreat, came from Michigan to New York, came to the retreat. She signed up like 2 weeks before the retreat. I was like, who's this woman? She signed up for our VIP ticket and then ended up joining my highest level program. At that point, I was leading like I want to say it was a 9-month program. It was a 5-figure investment. I can't remember the investment off the top of my head, but she moved forward into that. So you see the dots that I'm just sharing with you. Some people are like, oh, I want to do a vision board workshop, which is great. And I see many of you saying that. You also have to know what comes next, okay? And that's what I help my people do. Certainly those in our coaching school, they're going to get access to that. When I coach my clients at high levels, like in my mastermind, like I'm running right now, this is what I teach you, because usually you're missing some steps. You're not seeing what happens next. And so you're just going to put all your energy into having like a retreat or a workshop, but then you're not going to offer anything afterwards. And then you leave your clients like high and dry. They want more. And typically you are leaving a tremendous amount of money on the table. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm guessing that every single one of you wants to earn more money in your business. Am I right? There's nothing wrong with wanting to earn more money in your business, wanting to have more money in your personal life to, fund amazing things for your family, give to causes that you're crazy about, pay off, debt, whatever it is that you've got going on. You have got to be a smart businesswoman. You've got to. There's no excuse. And I can help you. I want to help you, but you got to let me help you. Absolutely. Karen, I know Karen is in our January 2018 class of Get Gutsy Coach Training School. And so give it up for Karen. I'm so pumped to be with you, Karen. And I'm going to let y'all know how you can get on our wait list for Coach Training School. I'm actually going to go ahead and give you the link right now to get on our wait list. I'm going to type it into the comments. Y'all, get on the freaking wait list because I am about to open a super juicy offer to our wait list. Karen, you received this offer, so it's the same one you got, girl. But this is for our waitlisters. We want to encourage you and celebrate you for getting on the wait list. You are going to save money off of our early bird tuition when you're on the wait list, and I'm about to open the doors. The doors will be open for our waitlisters for a very short period of time, and so don't say I didn't warn you, is basically my message, okay? CoachTrainingSchool.com. We'd love to have you on the wait list. I'll tell you all about our school once we open our doors for our waitlisters, and you can decide if you're going to choose in. You will choose your investment level, and then you'll fill out an application. I want to make sure that we've got a right fit into our school. I want to make sure it's right for you and that we're right for you as well. You see what I'm saying? And so we've got you covered. We're going to do this thing. All right. 3 more tips for you. Are we having fun yet? Are you guys having fun? Are you learning? I hope you're learning because I really care about you. I care about creating successful coaches out in the world. It is my mission. It is my passion. It is everything I'm here to do. Okay. So tip number 4, premium programs. You heard me share about that, right? Premium programs. As I mentioned, I had my retreat. I then offered a premium program for those who want to continue the momentum that we started at the retreat and join me for a multi-month journey. Okay, I still offer premium programs in my business. I love premium programs. Jill, my girl Jill Wurzelman, who's here, she's in one of my premium programs. She's in my mastermind, Glow. And the work that we do in those premium programs is extraordinary. And they're a huge piece of my business and something that I like to teach my students in my community how to do because it's just a great way to build a business. If you really like getting in there deep with your community, if you can hold space over a period of time for your clients, you can charge great levels for that value that you bring to your audience, okay? And I'm talking about, a 5-figure price tag and beyond. I know people who have 6-figure price tags for their coaching programs. And why not? Do you provide great results for your audience? The pricing piece has to come from within. And those who join our coaching school, that's what most of them say they really get from our school. Confidence. Pricing is so connected to confidence. Your ability to put yourself out there and be visible and market like a fucking pro. That is connected to confidence. That is connected to you being in your brilliance and really being in your power. And we absolutely help you with that in our coaching school. So being able to create premium programs and doing it, putting it out there, going all in on that was a huge piece to my first ever 6-figure year in 2012. Tip number 5, follow your intuition. Follow your intuition. I talked about me being a spiritual business coach. I follow my intuition. I get downloads and I trust those downloads. Okay. I still do this to this day. And that was a major piece of me having my first ever 6-figure year 5 years ago. And then being able to continue to do that, top that every single year. It's because I trust the nudges. I put myself out there. I fly my freak flag. I'm willing to be different. I am willing to not do it like everybody else. I'm willing to trust the insight, those flashes of wisdom that I get from my spirit guides, that I get from God, that I get from this path that I'm on. Nobody is Jenny Fennig out there in the world except Jenny Fennig. Nobody is Maureen Saladino, Jessica Perry, Karen Shepard, everyone else who's here. Nobody is you except you. And if you are willing to follow your intuition and fly that freak flag, you are going to go very far, as long as you have these other business elements at play. You've got to be, again, just a smart businesswoman, really smart businesswoman, okay? That's kind of like the overarching thing here, is to be a really smart businesswoman. And don't apologize for that. Don't feel bad that like you actually charge for your programs and you have policies and procedures and you have a contract and you hold people to their payment schedule, right? You deliver and you're like, no, actually you have to fulfill your payment plan now. No, this is a no refunds program. No, we're not going to give you a refund just because you freaked out and you don't think you can do it now. Like, I don't play those games in my business. I don't suggest you play those games either. Anyone who has worked with me or is currently working with me, you'll know that. If you try to like flake out or not follow through on your commitments and your responsibility, you're going to know that Jenny is a serious businesswoman, and you need to do that too in your business, like legit. So following your intuition is huge. So is being a serious businesswoman. And number 6, the final tip that I'm going to share with you today is to put yourself out there. Put yourself out there daily, daily, daily. Okay? All in, right? We're all in here. And that means putting out content for your community, for your audience. Do y'all know that I put out content daily for my audience? Do you know that? I do that through social media. My podcast is available 24/7. I live stream at least once a week. Okay? I put out emails. I have my programs. Like, it's the real deal. This is a legit business. I am also so willing to bet on myself. One story that I want to share with you is that in the year 2012, which again was my first ever 6-figure year as a coach, one of my original coaches, Allie Brown, was running a contest. And basically the contest was like the Entrepreneur of the Year. And I remember seeing it come across my radar and I was like, oh, that's really cool, but you know, I probably wouldn't win that. And there's people who farther along than me, and you know, I could apply and I might not get picked, and then I'll just be annoyed and I'll be disappointed. And then I just kept seeing it, and I go, you know what? I'm freaking applying for that. And I did. I put in my application. I got picked as one of the top 10 finalists. And y'all, I went to town. Campaigning to win the Entrepreneur of the Year. And I want to give a shout out to Julia and Dayla, I think I'm saying that correctly, and Emily Hershey. I campaigned my ass off to win that Entrepreneur of the Year award. You had to campaign for votes. I have newfound respect for political candidates. I mean, it was intense. We didn't have live streaming back then, but I think we had other forms we didn't have like Facebook Live or any of that, but we had other kinds of ways that we could connect with our audience. Like, I was campaigning left and right. And luckily it was only for a few days that I had to campaign because there was like a deadline to get your votes. I had people sending notes to Allie. I didn't even ask them to do that. They just did it on my behalf because I had touched their lives so much. I had helped them as a coach or just as a friend. And in the end, although I didn't even have the second highest number of votes, I was picked the second prize winner. I tied for second. I got a silver prize. I won a brand new computer. Y'all, there it is. You see my desktop. I won that from that Entrepreneurs Who Thrive Entrepreneur of the Year contest from Allie Brown. I won a new computer. Every time I'm on that, I'm like, I got shit done. I put my name in the hat. I won. I put myself out there. It was scary. I had to really ask for things. I had to believe in myself, even when I was like, times I wanted to hide in the corner, but I fucking did it. And y'all need to do that too. If you really want to have a successful coaching business at whatever level you desire, these tips that I just shared with you are freaking gold, okay? So consider them treasure on your quest. Y'all, get on the wait list for Coach Training School. You heard me say that already, coachtrainingschool.com. And then I want to share with you something that I haven't even like sent it out to my list yet. I'm about to later today. But I put together a brand new ebook. It is rad. It's called The Path to Consistent 5-Figure Months as a Coach. Myself, as well as 11 top coaches, are sharing wisdom, tips, resources. There's a lot of free resources in there for you. Lessons learned. Just You're going to get a snapshot of a day in the life of all of us coaches. And my intention and my hope for you is that it inspires you about what is possible. So I'm going to put the link in the comments. Again, we're going to start really putting this out far and wide. It's jennyfenig.com/path, jennyfenig.com/path. You can grab it. It's a brand new, hot off the presses ebook for you. You're going to love the tips in there. We're starting Facebook ads around this new ebook. This is a big part of our Coach Training School launch, and I'm excited to get it into your hands. So grab it, enjoy it. Let me know what you love about it. Spread the word about it to your people in your world. Y'all, the world does need more coaches. If anyone tells you that coaches, we don't need any more, there's too many, ignore them. I saw somebody post about that. I was like, screw you. You're wrong. The world does need more coaches because coaches are leaders. And in my school, we train spiritual coaches to make a difference and a great living. If you are feeling this in your body, if you know that this is your path, but you're just scared, you need more guidance, you need more support, you need a community of believers and fellow travelers on this journey, then you need to be in Get Gutsy Coach Training School. Again, we're opening up our wait list very, very soon. We're going to open it up. My intention is to open it up in the next couple of days when all the hoopla in the world starts happening around like Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Come on in, y'all. Come on in, coachtrainingschool.com. Thank you for being here. Thanks for the love. Thanks for being a part of our Facebook Lives. I usually do these on Wednesdays, but today we're doing it on Tuesday because it's the holiday. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody in the U.S. who celebrates. I am grateful for you. I'm grateful for this work. I wake up every single day. There's a kid at my door. So in love with what I get to do. And that is the greatest gift in the world. Yesterday I was at a cafe and a woman who I practice Kundalini yoga with was like, so tell me more about your work. And I told her, and I go, I absolutely love my work. There was never a day that I'm like, I hate this. I don't want to do this. And I have felt that before in my past lives. I was always successful in my work, but I paid a price. And I don't pay a price anymore. I work hard, y'all. I don't dance around that. I'm like, I'm sitting on the beach drinking. I don't drink anymore. So I'm drinking a sparkling water while like just the money rolls in. That's not how it works for me. And I wouldn't want it to because I enjoy doing the work. I enjoy serving you. I enjoy getting my hands dirty. I enjoy serving to my utmost ability. And if that's who you are, if you really enjoy being in there with your people and helping them achieve the results that they desire, then coaching absolutely could be the path for you. So with that, I look forward to connecting with you again very soon. Grab the new free ebook, hop on our wait list, and I'll be talking to you again very soon. Bye, everybody.